Welcome back to Meet the Owners. I'm your host, Joe, and today we have Amanda on the show with us from Stellar Lens. She does awesome photography, and we're at her new location, and you guys just named it something new, right? What's it called?
The studio is Stellar Collective. So I actually hosted a Facebook contest to help me name the studio as well as generate some buzz about it because I could not come up with a name for this studio. I had some amazing suggestions, Stellar Studio, Collective on Main, but ultimately I chose Stellar Collective because it's a multi-use space.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful space, and you can have
Thank you.
photographers in here, right?
Yes.
Some other potential things that we won't discuss because you're still figuring it out, right?
Yes.
It's exciting, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to all of her stuff. Links in the bio. Subscribe to this channel, and then let's get into it. So, photography. How long have you been doing it? What made you want to get into it? Just give us a rundown.
Absolutely. So I started doing photography my senior year of high school. I was shooting my friends and I's senior photos in my backyard. And from there, the buzz kind of got out that I was taking senior pictures and I started getting hired. I worked with a local photographer and I edited their wedding photos in their basement and I made $5 an hour.
Wow.
So that was my humble beginnings to my photography journey. I created my LLC in 2020, Stellar Lens Productions, and I started out doing wedding videography. I was still doing photography, seniors, families, but I had the mix of photo and video. It wasn't until 2023 that I took the leap of faith and I decided photography is my passion. That's my top priority, and I took the business full time. That's when Stellar Lens, I guess, officially was born.
Awesome. So what made you even want to get into photography in high school? You just picked up a camera and were like, hey, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I've actually always been photographing and filming things. I've had a YouTube channel since I was in 5th grade.
Really?
Yeah,
No way.
so fun fact, I'm not gonna name it, but it's out there. So I've always been creating, I've always been filming, I've always loved cameras. So it just really was second nature when my friends asked for me to shoot their senior photos. Yes, it was fun and I didn't think much of it at the time, but really that was the start of a business venture. And I think I've always had entrepreneur tendencies. Growing up, I would always do craft fairs at like local farmers markets, or I would try and sell stuff from my driveway. So I've always had like the niche or the drive to want to put myself out there. So when I finally clicked with photography and realized, hey, like this is a legitimate business. Let's do something with this. Let's try and be an entrepreneur. Here we are.
Awesome. So when did you say you took the leap of faith?
2023.
2023.
Yes.
So 2 years ago.
Yes, 2 years ago.
What were you doing full time before you took the leap?
So I was working for a company here in Evansville and I was in the marketing department there. So I had a typical desk job working at an office building and it wasn't for me. I'm a very creative person. I can't sit still. So I'm always up and about doing something. So I had the photography business on the side during that time. I was doing a ton of weddings, a ton of family photos. So it made sense to take it full time during that time frame.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So did you have any reoccurring business from people that did photography with you before? So you had like a book. So you're like, when you jumped, it wasn't too scary. It was scary, but it was like,
yeah,
we're landing on our feet when we jump.
Absolutely, but I did have an initial hurdle of me originally being from Jasper. So a lot of my clientele was in Jasper, which I do still go back to Jasper to shoot, and I love all of my hometown folks. However, I do live in Evansville now. So I needed to rebrand and reestablish myself as an Evansville photographer. So the first week that I went full-time with Stellar Lens, I joined a B&I group. I got out there and I started networking that I'm an Evansville photographer. I needed to meet local business owners and I needed to just get my name out there. And the rest is history. That was my very humble beginnings, but B&I was pivotal in my success in the early stage of taking it full time. Yes, I did have books, but they weren't super established because I had the 2 different locations, and it was really about establishing myself as an Evansville photographer.
We've had other people on the podcast talk about BNI, and it seems to be everybody's starting point, which is really cool. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So shout out, I guess, to BNI.
Shout out.
Shout out. Okay, so you went full time.
Yes.
How were the friends and family? Were they like, you got this 110%, or they're like, that's a little scary? Because
Yeah.
it is a little scary.
Yes, definitely. I think my family did have some reservations initially about me leaving the stability of a 9-to-5 job. I mean, you've got insurance, you've got that weekly paycheck coming in, you know how much you're gonna make every single year. And no one in my family has really ever done something like this. There's not really any entrepreneurs in my family, so I'm kind of like the black sheep in that sense. However, the support has been overwhelmingly positive for the most part. Everyone's been super supportive and positive and really just wants to believe in my dreams as much as I do. So that's been great. But the initial shock, I think, was definitely present. It is scary leaving, stability to jumping into the unknown. But I'm someone who lives in the here and now. I'm in my 20s, so it's the perfect time to be an entrepreneur and take that leap of faith, because I want to invest everything I have back into my business right now. That's my top priority. My business is my baby, so.
Well, that's awesome. That's great to have that support. It's important.
Yes.
It's very important.
Yes.
So that being said you started off with wedding photography.
Yes.
And videography. Well, videography.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you say, hey, I really don't like the videography part of weddings, and what made you switch to doing photos?
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, it was the editing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Editing of weddings takes forever. It's so time consuming. It's so much footage to go through. I mean, that's 8 hours of footage that you're going through to create this story of one day, and it was just a lot. Also, my full-time job in marketing, I was editing and filming videos all day. So it was hard for me to come home and want to continue to do that in my free time. So that's where photography was like a little bit of a release for that. The editing is not so extensive on the back end with photography. It's more the preparation and planning for the shoot and before the shoot where it's different.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it just really came down to the editing. I still love the storytelling aspect of videography, and that's where my primary focus this year is really relaying the storytelling in my photography as well.
I love that. That's great.
Yes, that's a huge focus for me. How can I share your family's story in these photos when you look back on them 5-10 years from now? You are transported back to that moment.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what type of photography, because you do a couple different types of photography,
Yes.
right? What's your favorite photography?
Oh, such a great question. Right now, my favorite photography is working with headshots. I love doing headshots for small businesses and entrepreneurs, primarily because I am one myself. So I'm really passionate about providing professional, high quality images for people to present their best foot forward, whether that be online, on social media, on their website. I cannot stress how important having an updated professional headshot is for the representation of your business.
Oh, yeah.
So that's also where we can really get creative too when it comes to branding headshots. So I've done some really fun sessions with an interior designer, Brian Ferguson Designs, and he brought him to the studio, and he actually brought, different pieces of furniture and made sets, and we were able to really capture his brand identity through these photos. And that's where I'm truly passionate about. I love everything, but that's my top.
That's super cool. That's awesome. So you start your business, have support. What's the biggest challenge you face? Because things go, you got to put out fires as a business owner, left and right. They come out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Yes.
So what's the biggest challenge you've had?
Ooh, I think the biggest challenge I've had has just been the unknown, the uncertainties. You never know what tomorrow is going to bring as a business owner. So that is truly always in the back of my mind. I probably don't sleep as great as I did before because I'm always thinking about my business. Like I said, my business is my baby. So it's hard to just turn that switch off when you go home. And I think that has been a challenge of finding that work-life balance for me. Work and life balance, like what is that right now? But it's all for the best. That's what I knew I was getting myself into when I was starting a business. The grind, the hustle, especially in the beginning, is very real. You have to plant those roots. You've got to plant the seeds. And that means hard work for the entrepreneur. And I'm not going to shy away from that, but it has been interesting trying to juggle turning that side of my brain off at night, especially, or hanging out with friends. Like, you're like, oh, I should have responded to that inquiry, or, oh, I need to make a Facebook post. Like, your brain's constantly thinking of your business.
I understand that. Yeah. So that's a great segue. What's your day-to-day look like? You're on the hustle and grind.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I'm a big proponent of slow mornings, actually.
Okay.
I love to take the mornings to myself, especially because I'm not a morning person. So it takes me a while to like wake up in the morning. So that's something that I've loved about being an entrepreneur is I can define my day. If I want to go to the gym right away in the morning, like I can do that. If I want to make breakfast from home, I can do that. I can walk my dog every morning. So I have like a very simple morning routine: breakfast, gym, walking my dog Juniper, and then I get into work. I try and fill my cup, and then I can focus on my business next.
Awesome. What's the business side of that look like? Are you
Yeah.
calling people up? Are you just making posts
Yeah.
to get business?
So I am not really pressure sales when it comes to that. I love things to happen organically. I
Okay.
love to just attract the business. I believe that like what you put out there will attract back to you. So really online has been my biggest advertisement. Facebook, Instagram. I post all the time. That's been primarily my top source of revenue coming from social media, as well as I have my website. That's huge as well to direct people to having a website.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't really do cold calls. I don't really knock on doors.
That's nice though.
It's
It's
nice.
nice to do that.
But networking too. I
Yes.
can't be forgetting that. I network once a week.
Yes.
So that's actually where we met, was B&I networking. That's been pivotal for me to connect with other entrepreneurs and other business owners who are looking for the services that I offer. And really having individuals with the giver's gain mindset has been pivotal to collaborate with those like-minded individuals.
Yeah. So would you say that's something that sets your brand apart from others?
Absolutely. I am a huge proponent of community over competition. I think that there's plenty of business to go around for all of us. We're in Evansville, which is the third largest city in Indiana. There's over 100,000 people here. There's plenty of opportunity for all of us to find and connect with individuals who are needing photography services. So I really love to network with other photographers. One, I'm not going to shy away from that. I believe that there's plenty to go around. Number two, I love to provide an experience for
Yes.
individuals. And the experience is that you feel more confident leaving the session than when you first came. A lot of individuals that I have, it's their first time ever taking photos or being in front of a camera. They don't know what it's like, and it's my job to put them at ease and make them feel completely comfortable and like themselves, so we can get those images that look like you. They're actual real images, and it's not fake, it's not staged. Like, this is you. So that's something I do think that sets me apart. I try not to be transactional based. I truly care about my clients, and I do want you to have an experience, and I want you to have images that you're proud to share, because ultimately these are your images. It fills my heart with so much joy when I walk into someone's home and I see the images that I took displayed in their home. It's like artwork that I've created forever now, like with you. So it is very surreal.
That's really awesome. And I've never even thought about that, because it's like, yeah, you take pictures and people hang your pictures
Yes.
up all over your walls.
Like, I took
That's
that.
unique. That's awesome, yeah. And then, just on my own experience with getting my pictures taken, I've always felt like I can do this just fine, but they'll be like, all right, I need you to pose like this. And I'm like, I feel like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, like, and you're like, and I'm like, this is the worst. So it's nice that you have the relaxed environment.
Yes.
You chill. I love it. It's great.
Absolutely.
So someone's starting a business. What advice do you have for them?
My advice for someone starting a business is to just do it. It's so easy to have all these ideas pop in your head. You're gonna have all the negative thoughts that are surrounding it, but my advice is to just do it. Follow your heart. That idea was placed in your heart for a reason, so pursue it. You owe that to yourself to try your best and put your best foot forward and go out there and do it. And you'd be surprised at what happens when you can put your mind to something and truly believe in yourself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Absolutely.
So we've talked business, and we always ask some fun questions at the end, because it's part of getting to know people. You get to hear their story, and then like, what do you do? What's your favorite things? Can we relate to you? So, favorite movie?
Oh my goodness. This question haunts me in my sleep. I would get asked this all the time because I was a videographer.
Of course.
I actually, my first like dream job, I wanted to be a cinematographer.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
wanted
awesome.
to make movies. So it's such a tough question for me. I don't have a favorite movie, but I will share with you, I am a big movie buff, and every Tuesday night, my boyfriend and I go to the movies. It's silly, here in Evansville, we have discount Tuesdays.
We do.
So it's $5 to go to the movies. We go almost every single Tuesday night for a date night. So I'm constantly watching new movies, which is great. I absolutely love it. My past 3 favorites that I've seen recently, I'll just shout out.
Shout it out.
Heretic, Anora, and Snow White.
You like the Snow White?
I did.
Oh, everybody's giving back. I haven't watched it, so I can't comment.
Yeah.
But man, it's received some bad backlash.
There's been so much hate around that movie, so I was like, I have to see it. I need to see this movie. I feel like I can be a film critic myself.
Of course.
Aside from the dwarf CGI that was botched, I loved it.
All right. I guess I'm gonna have to watch it I'm gonna
Please
wait for it to
do.
come out on Disney Plus. But
Let me know what you think.
I will. I have a friend. He was hating on it. He was like, "This is the worst thing." But yeah, no. I'm curious.
Yeah. That's why I said
I hold
it.
my opinion until I watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. And that's why I said that. I knew it would be a polarizing thing. So leave your comments below. What was your review on Snow White?
Yeah. Start a fight. It'll help the algorithm. It'll be good.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Is there any movies you're looking forward to coming up? Because we have a decent lineup of movies this year.
I know. I'm literally blanking right now. Oh my goodness. I had so many I was excited about. Oh, could you name off a few? Like what's coming up?
Tomorrow is today's Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow's Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah.
We have I'm a Marvel guy, so we have Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's July. May 2nd is Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Superman's also in July.
Oh my God.
And don't we have something in November?
Oh, the new Wicked, part 2.
Oh yeah.
That's in November.
What did you think about the first one?
I loved it.
My wife is a big Wicked fan. She loved it. I watched it and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't like musicals, so
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. But I saw like the cinematography. And I was like, actually, I'll watch this. There's
Outstanding.
only 1 or 2 songs where I was like, could we end the song?
Yes.
But I feel like as a man, like that's pretty good. I'm like,
That's saying something.
only 1, maybe 2 songs. Where I was like, I'm done. I enjoyed the rest. I was like, that's pretty good. Well
That's
crafted.
saying something.
Yeah.
For an over 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, also I watched a breakdown on like all the lore and like the history behind all the
Yes.
different versions, and I was like, oh, I was much more intrigued watching the movie after knowing the facts
Me
as well.
too.
Because otherwise, I probably would not have as liked it as much. But
I actually bought the book after I
Really?
saw the movie, and my friends and I are reading it for book club.
Nice.
So,
pretty
yes.
cool.
Normally you do the opposite, but but here we are. I loved it. It was great.
that's the way it is. Well, as we wrap up, you guys know the next question. So, if you could only have everyone that's watching this video go support one local business in Evansville, who would it be?
Ooh, I'm gonna give a shout out to all of the stylists and ladies here at The Lab. So the building that I'm currently at is called The Lab, and it's a stylist society of freelance hairstylists here. So it's adjacent to the studio. It's
Behind this wall, right?
perfect.
Yeah.
You can get your hair done before the session and then come right in. So check them out. The Lab on Main is the name. They're all independent ladies. Would love for you guys to give them some love on social media.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show. It was a pleasure. And as you guys know, like, comment, subscribe, help us boost the algorithm and help other local business owners. And if you'd like to watch another video, click right here.